Hello, everyone. My name is Reshad Jalali. I work as Policy Officer in the European Council on Refugees and Exiles, ECRE. Many thanks, everyone, for being with us so far, and huge thanks to ICMC for organizing this timely event and for rightly choosing the title for this panel, Refugee and Migrant Participation in Policy, Advocacy, and Governance. Indeed, the meaningful inclusion of refugees and migrants at the policy-making level is key to the creation of inclusive European societies. Often, be it at the local, national, or European level, policies are designed and implemented without consultation or meaningful inclusion of refugees and migrants. The so-called refugee crisis of 2015 and 16 increased the need for inclusion and participation of refugees and migrants at the policies and the implementation and the policies that concern their lives, that shape their lives. Refugees and migrants themselves are actively advocating for their inclusion at the policy-making level, be it at the Global Summit of Refugees and Migrants in Geneva in 2018, or the European Summit of Refugees and Migrants in Brussels in 2019, with one slogan, nothing about us without us. At the EU level, refugees and migrants are actively advocating for their inclusion or trying to influence the EU policies. Although the integration is mainly member states' competence, but the EU plays an important role in shaping those integration policies via its funding and also via the sharing of good practices and its recommendation. While on asylum policies, the role of EU is prominent, and also the asylum policies have a direct impact on the life of refugees and asylum seekers. The inclusion and participation of refugees and migrants should not be limited to integration policies only. They should be also included and participated in the other policy areas, such as asylum policies, return, resettlement, and EU's role in their country of origins. So far at the EU, several initiatives have been taken to increase the participation of refugees and migrants, such as the piloting of European Migrant Advisory Board, which was supported by the Open Society Foundation. Another important area where the refugee participation and migrant participation is so important is advocacy domain. Refugee and migrant-led advocacy is a new form of advocacy that has been emerged from their life experience and also by identification of challenges and the shortcoming of those policies that affected their lives. And they can present concrete recommendation for the policymakers. The refugee rights sector and migrant rights sector can and should recruit more people with refugee and migrant background as their staff, as their member, and also should ensure their participation in all their areas of work. At ECRE, one of the strategic priority of ECRE is to increase the participation of refugees and people with refugee background as a staff member, as a board member, and also in membership organization, as we believe that we should practice what we are preaching. So with the interest of time, I will stop here and I will introduce our three amazing panelists for this panel. Our first speaker is Ms. Nuria Diz Guadia from the European Commission, Ms. Frederick Farabos from the ECRE, and Mr. Bekele Wuyecha from the UK Welcome Refugees. I apologize if I pronounce your name not correctly. So without further ado, I would like to start with our first panelist, Ms. Nuria Diaza. The floor is yours.